Hello, I'm Benny Westside, and welcome to the Crash Course for Namor. Today we're going to talk about his abilities, T4 upgrades, gear, ISO 8. I'm going to do a quick recap at the end, and hopefully that will help you make more informed decisions as you build him in preparation for the rest of his team. So I'll start with his passive. That's where I like to start. On spawn, he's going to give offense up and deflect to Fantastic Four and Cabal allies. On self or villain ally crit, this is really nice. He's going to barrier self and all villain allies, and he's going to apply speed up to self and all Cabal allies. So pairing this team, who's generally a bit slower, with a villain that goes early and can crit, is going to really help. Uh, he's gonna have the damage passive and armor passive, and in Crucible, if he has two or more Cabal allies, he prevents enemies from gaining death proof. The T4 increases the damage he gives to the team from 10 to 20. I think this is very impactful, and it also adds the fact that he prevents death proof. I think I would call this essential. That damage is going to be really important, and then preventing death proof uh, means you don't have to chew through them to kill people, and it also means you can rewind secret defenders, which are a big team for Crucible right now. So I think this was one I would call essential. His ultimate, Giganto, it's on a 7-turn cooldown. He's gonna attack all enemies, flip all buffs, and reduce speed bar by 50% on enemies with vulnerable. On more offense, he's not gonna care about the vulnerable. This attack is unavoidable, cannot be countered, and always crits. The T4 makes it from a 40% to a 50% rewind, and he also flips he increases his flips from 3 to all. I think this is really big. We're seeing a lot of teams with a lot of buffs, so this is one we're gonna want, and it also adds a nice chunk of damage, especially considering he always crits. So I would call this an essential one as well. Alright, looking at his special, this is on a 3-turn cooldown, which is really nice considering his ultimate is going to be a longer wait. Tidal Wave, attack primary and adjacent, bonus attack 2 more times for pure piercing. In Crucible, primary and secondary attacks apply bleed, that's very nice. And then the T4 upgrade increases the damage and increases the power of the bleeds. This is a very nice upgrade. Not essential at all, but I think it's a very nice upgrade. Alright, let's look at his basic. Attack primary for damage and piercing. Apply heal block for 2 turns and bleed for 1 turn. On his ISO attack, this always crits and applies 2 additional bleed. This is also a very nice upgrade, especially considering this team has a lot of assist mechanics. But I wouldn't call it essential at all, especially considering it's only a single target attack. So now we can talk about his ISO. I went ahead and did Raider Blue 5 on him. I think that's the best case. The leader gives the team 50% crit chance and crit damage. With compounded with Raider, that's going to be I think 90% crit chance and 200% crit damage. I think that is huge. I do understand the case for Striker. However, I think on the team, the Striker would be leader. Secondarily, maybe Iron Patriot. I wouldn't say Striker is bad for Namor, but my recommendation would be Raider, and that's what I went ahead and did. I think increasing that crit damage is very good. I understand the argument that he already gets a guaranteed crit on his ult and on his basic. It's not about increasing his crit chance any further, it's the crit damage. Also, a lot of the times it gets overlooked. Raider has a bonus attack as well, so getting that in there is very nice. And in terms of gear, so I think if you're not interested in Crucible, this team right now seems like a very optional team. We don't know what might come down the line, but right now they seem optional, which is a nice breath of air. So if you want to pause and just focus on other teams, go for it. However, this guy with this rewind has standalone value as well. Granted, this is very utility, so you could not build him at all, and or build him just enough to have this T4 and let him survive to get to his ultimate to get that 50% rewind. He sees war use already, and with this stat bump, I think it's gonna make it much more palatable to use him as a solo character. However, I think the team itself is very cool and very fun, and personally, I'm very uh, in favor of Crucible. It's one of the game modes I really enjoy. So, in this instance, if you are building, I would say go ahead and put as much as you would like into him. He's a damage dealer, so he's gonna make use of all that damage stat that you give him, and he's gonna have insane damage with that crit damage boost. And he already has the damage passive for the team, so inherently, even as a solo character, he has nice damage. Um, yeah, so go ahead. I have him at gear 17. I will likely take him to gear 18 very soon, and I'm very strongly considering taking this team to Dark Dimension 7. I'm not sure yet. Still evaluating, and by the time I even get through City, we'll probably have many more global characters. Global seems to be the fastest release pace out of any of the origins, so I'm sure it'll my plans will change. But for now, I think that the trio is a strong consideration for global, especially because they all have different origins, which makes it a lot easier to upgrade all of them. So that might happen, but for now, I will probably take him to gear 18 and get that really nice damage and health bump. Um, yeah, so that's my plans. I will probably also put the T4 in his special. I think that's very powerful. I don't know about his basic. Maybe down the line. I don't. I'm not. Yeah, I'm already under 3,000. I don't like being under 3,000. So for now, that's gonna have to wait. Um, yeah, that's about it. Let's do a quick recap. His ultimate and his passive I would consider essential. His basic and especially his special are very high value, so definitely not a waste. ISO class I recommend Raider. I understand Striker. You can go ahead and do that, but my preference and recommendation would be Raider. Gear wise, if you're gonna build this team, go ahead, put whatever you can and would like to into him. He's gonna put out a lot of damage, and you're gonna enjoy it. Um, Before I go, I want to say I do have a Crash Course graphic. I will link it down below. I always put these out when I do these videos to accompany, so that way you can have it for reference. Um, Let me know what you thought. Are you gonna build Cabal? Are you gonna go in on this guy? Let me know what you think, and I hope to see you in the next one.